Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our new series of bi-monthly chair yoga. The important thing for you to know is you don't need any experience whatsoever. The requirements for chair yoga are your body and a chair. That's it. I would recommend, though, that it's a relatively stable chair. If it happens to move around, just be careful when you're moving in and out of some of the poses because sometimes we will depend on the stability of the chair to help us. But mostly what you're looking for is an alignment where your head over your shoulders, over your hips, and then your legs are at a comfortable, we call this 90-90. So you're at just a nice flexed position in your hips and your knees. That's really all you need. Maybe you want some water nearby. Maybe you want to put your out of office message on your door so you have a little bit of peace and quiet. But I do welcome you here to this space and thank you for joining. I am going to help us each time set our intention for our class. And so I wanted to have us think this morning about the Beatitudes. And those I was recently listening when I was at church, and it was described to us as radically bold statements. And I love the way that was described. And I love the idea of setting an intention that is radically bold. And so there are so many to choose from, and there are many interpretations. But the one that kind of struck me the most, and this is out of the message, it says, you're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind, and your heart put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. Like, wow, that's amazing. I love that. So I'm going to use that version and that one for our intention this morning. But you can pick whichever one you want for you. And an intention is nothing crazy. It doesn't even have to be scripturally based, but it's something that you want to set your mind towards this morning. That's all. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and to rest comfortably in your seat. And what I want you to start to do as your eyes are closed is just notice yourself in your space. Don't make any changes yet, but just notice your alignment. Notice your chair that you're sitting on or your surface. Start to notice your breath. We're going to work really hard this morning to link our movement with our breath. That is what yoga means, yoke, to link. And it's our mind and our body that we're going to try to put together in a purposeful way. So on your next inhale, I want you to inhale through your nose and just maybe sit a little bit taller. Make sure your ears are over your shoulders, shoulders over hips. Hips extend out to your knees, flex to the floor, feet touch the floor, maybe wiggle your toes. Exhale also through your nose. So our yoga breathing is in and out through our nose. Inhale, maybe place your palms up on your legs, inviting in this good energy around you. And exhale again out through your nose. What I want you to think about on these next 3 or 4 inhales and exhales is lengthening the inhale, holding at the top your breath, and lengthening your exhale. So I'll count you through. Let's do a count of 3. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold it at the top. Really fill your belly and your lungs with that air. And then exhale for 3, 2, 1. Now we'll try 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it at the top. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it at the top. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping your eyes closed, place your palms down. Inhale, bring your hands together at your chest, kind of like a prayer pose. Your hands are touching. Gently tuck your chin And focus for a minute on that intention you might want to set. Maybe it is just a couple of words. I am calm. I am peace. I am love. Maybe it's one of the Beatitudes. Just think for a moment, calm your mind, calm your breath. Let your thoughts come, but don't pay attention to them. Let them go away quickly like a cloud. And on your next inhale, you can blink your eyes open. We're going to start adding a little bit of movement. I'm going to move just to the edge of my seat so my feet are square on the floor. We're going to start with our neck. So I want you on an inhale, bring your ear towards your shoulder. And as you exhale, roll your chin down towards your chest. And your inhale will bring your ear towards your opposite shoulder. Okay, so I want you actively thinking about moving your shoulders away from your ear. That will bring your scapulas on the back side down towards your pocket. Okay, so inhale as you roll your chin towards your chest. Nothing should hurt. Exhale brings your ear to your opposite shoulder. Now, if you want a little bit more stretch, but be careful, the neck can be a really sensitive region. You can take your hands and put them underneath your seat or your chair. That helps you hold those arms down a little bit. So be gentle when you do it. Bring your ear to your shoulder on an inhale. And you'll feel an extra spicy stretch on that opposite side now if you're holding underneath. And as you exhale, roll your chin towards your chest as you bring your ear to the opposite side. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale, roll that chin towards your chest, bringing your ear to your opposite side. Good. Bring your hands back to your lap, your chin to center. We're going to do some shoulder rolls. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share, so maybe I'll pop out a little bit bigger for you as well. Shoulder rolls. Here we go. Inhale, bring them up and forward. And really focus on your exhale, bringing them back and down. Okay. So inhale, forward and up, a big roll. Exhale, move them back and down. Good. Inhale, forward and up. Think about your breath filling first your belly, then lifting your lungs. Exhale, down and back. And if you're like, I don't know if I'm doing that, put one hand on your belly, put one hand on your chest. So this next inhale, make sure you're pushing out through that belly first, and then it'll lift your heart. Exhale down. One more shoulder roll, opposite direction though. Bring it back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Good. Again, roll your shoulders back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Nice job. We're going to rotate our wrists as we just lift our arms up in front, over your head, nice and high. Maybe gaze up to the sky. Exhale, roll your wrists in the opposite direction. Bring them back down. Okay. One more time. Pick a different direction for your arms. I'm going to go out to the side. Roll my wrists up to the sky. Looking up, maybe arch your back a little bit if that feels okay. Roll your wrists in the opposite direction. Exhale, bring your arms back down. Good. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow here right in our chair. So go ahead and put your hands on your knees. I'll turn on the side just so you can see. But as you inhale, I want you to lift your chest, lift your heart. You'll open up through the front side, elongating the back side. Gaze up if it's comfortable for you. You don't need too much neck extension. And on your exhale, roll that spine down, kind of one vertebrae at the time. Leave your hands on your knees. And you'll feel this super nice stretch across your upper back. Tuck your chin as much as is comfortable for you. So again, on our inhale, we roll our spine up, broaden across to your collarbones. Open up your chest, lift your heart, shine your light. And as you exhale, roll it back down. And I like to keep my hands on my knees so that as I really roll down, and you can kind of wiggle side to side a little bit, that gives you a really nice upper back stretch. Okay, one more cat-cow. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Lift, shine your light. Exhale, roll it down. Good. Your spine should feel nice and long. Your back should feel nice and stretched out. We're going to incorporate a couple of twists now to our seated pose. So I want you to inhale a nice deep breath, gaze up at the sky. And as you exhale, hands, heart, center, twist to one side. Okay? So this doesn't have to be a super deep twist. It's our first one. But you do want to think about your shoulders moving towards one side. Maybe your gaze continues in that direction over behind you. Your inhale brings you back to center. Your exhale brings your arms down. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands, heart, center, twist to the other side. Again, these aren't too deep yet. They're our first ones. Be kind to yourself. Maybe gaze over that back shoulder. Your inhale brings you center. Your exhale brings your arms down. Good. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Gaze up to the sky. This time, as you exhale, bring your hands down. Cross your front arm over the outside of that opposite knee. And take this back hand behind you on your chair or on your seat. Try to deepen your stretch a little bit. Deepen your twist. Each exhale might bring you a little more twisted to that side. Continue your gaze right over your back shoulder if it's comfortable. Your next inhale is going to bring you back to the center and your hands come down. Inhale, reach, lift your gaze, lift your heart. Exhale, twist to the other side. So this front arm's coming to the outside of that opposite leg. Your other hand's coming behind you, either in a fist on your seat or can grab the back of your chair to help give you a little more leverage for your twist and your rotation. Usually when we sit so still, so these twists help literally wring out your inside and bring more oxygen to where you need it. Your next inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, arms come down. Good. Inhale, reach, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Let's twist one more time to the right. Little bit farther if you can. Maybe add in that cervical rotation, looking over that shoulder if you didn't already. Keeping your sit bones solid and your spine long and tall. Your next exhale brings you back to center. Last one. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Maybe you feel a little more loose, a little bit longer, a little bit more stretch. Good. And your next inhale brings you back to center. We're going to try sort of a modified sun salutation from our seats now. So I want you to inhale, reach up to the sky. And as you exhale, bringing your hands through heart center, we're going to do a forward fold right towards our knees. Maybe drape your arms down to the floor so your chest rests right on your lap. Your next inhale is going to bring you to our halfway lift in our seat. So your hands can be on your lap, but you're coming halfway back up, lengthening your trunk. Exhale, roll back down over your lap. Your next inhale brings you all the way back up. Reach to the sky. Look at those fingertips. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Good. I'm going to show you on the side. We'll do it again because I want your fold coming from your hips, not your upper body. So inhale, reach and lift. Gaze up to the sky. As you exhale, hands come through heart center. Initiate your fold from your hips. So you're hinging forward at your hips. Wherever that stops, then roll that upper body on down. Reach towards the floor. Maybe touch the floor. Let your head dangle and rest. Inhale our halfway lift. Maybe touch your legs, your lap, your chair. Extend long through that spine. Exhale, fold, roll it right back down. Next inhale brings you all the way back up to the tippy top. Gaze up to the sky. Hands, heart, center. Good. We're going to stretch our legs a little bit. So I want you to go ahead and pick your favorite knee and stabilize your chair and your leg, opposite leg on the floor. So go ahead and wrap your arms around that front shin, and you're going to bring this knee up towards your chest. Okay? Active foot here, so you can flex your foot, you can point your foot, you can roll your foot, but we want your foot doing a little bit of activity here. bringing your hip towards your chest. Now, maybe it feels good and your chair is stable enough. You can walk that other leg out in front of you, okay? So you should be feeling maybe a little bit of compression in the hip joint that's pulling towards you, but keep your spine nice and long, okay? Big inhale here. And on your exhale, replace your feet. Maybe wiggle your knees side to side, kind of windshield wiper, and we're going to do the opposite side. So whichever is your less favorite knee, go ahead and reach down, wrap around it, pull it up towards your chest. Make that foot active, make it do something, okay? It's not just like lazy hanging here. I like to flex mine up and really pull up through my toes. And when I feel kind of comfortable in my seat, go ahead and extend that other leg long. Again, keep both feet active. One more inhale here. Exhale, put that leg back down. Windshield wiper those legs side to side. Okay? We're going to work on our back side of the leg now. So that's our hamstring length. So I'll show you from the side. You're going to kind of sit on the edge of your chair. And let's start with just one leg. So extend one leg long. That might already be enough. You might already feel a stretch in the back of your hamstring, and that's completely fine. If this feels okay, you can again hinge from your hips. So take a nice inhale here, lengthen your spine. And if you're going to add a stretch, you're going to hinge forward from your hips. It's okay to give a slight knee bend here to maybe get a little bit more forward hinge. Maybe you reach down towards your toes. Maybe you touch your thigh, your lower leg. Maybe you can reach those toes. But I want you to make sure you're not holding your breath. Maybe straighten that leg a little bit more. Feel a stretch, maybe from your backside where you're sitting all the way down past your knee. Any zinging or tingling in your toes means you're doing too much. You need to back off. You should not be feeling numbness or tingling here. Your next inhale brings you back up to where we started. Go ahead and flex those knees in, and I want you to tap your feet on the floor, alternating your heels, coming up on your tiptoes. And then we're going to go ahead and do that stretch on the other side. So remember, we're going to take one leg long, extend it out in front of us. I like to keep that foot flexed. If this is already a stretch, that's enough. That's where you'll stay. Maybe put a slight bend in that knee, and your inhale brings your trunk up tall and long. Exhale folds you forward, hinging at your hips first. And when your leg tells you that's enough, then you can roll that upper body on down. Maybe reach down towards your lower leg, towards your toes. You should feel a stretch all the way up through the back of that leg. Nothing should be hurting though, okay? You guys are doing great. Next inhale brings you all the way back up. Good. So let's windshield wiper those legs side to side a little bit. Hopefully nothing is bothering you. Let's bring our toes back up and down, kind of moving our legs in space a little bit. Okay. And we're going to move into a nice lunge. So this is going to, again, require you to feel pretty comfortable on your chair. And you're going to take one leg, keeping it bent, one leg straightening it out. So my foot that's straight out this way, my foot is sealed to the floor, okay? This foot on the ground, my leg is at 90 degrees. It's sealed to the floor. What you want to experience in this pose is an opening of your hips. Usually we sit in our chairs like this all day, maybe even like this all day. So we need to open up those hips, give us a nice inner thigh stretch, okay? And I want you thinking about your body is facing towards this opening, okay? Your inhale is going to bring your arms up just to shoulder height. Extend out through those fingertips. Don't let your shoulders come up to your ears. Actively press them down along your back. And now I want you to turn your gaze over that fingertip that's reaching out over the bent knee, and you are in warrior two. Good. A beautiful Thursday morning warrior, right? And not warrior in the sense of anything nasty, but in a sense of spreading love and joy everywhere, right? If your arms are feeling a little tired, that's okay. You can wiggle your fingers a little bit. Make sure your shoulders don't drift up towards your ears. Continue to open across your hips. Bring your shoulder blades together across your back. One more inhale. Exhale, arms can come down. Reset those legs. Maybe tap your feet out again. And then we're going to have to do the other side. So we're going to go ahead and walk ourselves into the other side. So our chair is stable. We take one leg to the outside. It stays in a flex 90 degrees. That leg just goes on the floor. My other leg is long out to the side. Both feet are sealed down on the floor comfortably. Okay? So my trunk should be facing this opening. And my goal is that this bent leg is moving out towards that pinky toe. That helps me open up my inner leg to have a nice, good stretch. Okay? My next inhale, my arms are going to float up, coming straight out from my shoulders. And if I was to look forward, but kind of peek out the corner of each eye, I can see my fingertips. That's where you want them. Not too far in front, not too far behind, but I could barely see them out of the corner of each eye. Okay? Shoulders drop away from your ears and slowly turn your gaze out over that arm extended over the bent knee. And we're in our warrior two. Just inhale, lengthen your arms. Exhale, widen your stance. Inhale. Next exhale brings those arms on down. Good. Okay. We're going to stay with our hips. Try to open them up a little bit. And the next one we're going to do is our seated pigeon. So this could look really different for lots of you depending upon your range of motion. So we're trying to get into what's called a figure four position. So I'm going to try to cross one leg. This foot that's up is flexed. My other foot is comfortably on the floor. Now, if you already are like, this is awful, I hope we don't do it for too long, then maybe your hips are a little tight. Let's straighten that leg out that we're resting on. That'll open these hips up a little more. That's a much less aggressive stretch. You also can walk this leg down below your knees so your figure four is a little softer. Okay, so that's a slightly less intense version. Slightly more intense, you're like, oh, this feels good. I want a little deeper. Bring this leg up on your thigh. Bring your bottom leg bent in underneath you. This hip should be falling open. Okay, so we're not going to press on it and force it if that's not what it's doing. And if you want to add a little pressure, do it on your thigh to protect your knee. Okay, so what I want you to do when you find that figure four that you're like, okay, this is tolerable, I want you to inhale and lengthen your spine. And then I want you to exhale, hinge forward from your hips. That's going to add a little spiciness into that hip. And then you can roll your shoulders down and forward, tucking your chin. And what you should feel is a stretch in the outside hip of the leg that is bent. And let's just take a couple breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale that oxygen straight to that tight muscle in your hip. Stay focused on your intention. Don't be distracted. One more breath. And when you're ready, slowly roll back up. Carefully uncross your leg. And then we'll do a couple of our little seated windshield wipers. And then we have to go to the other side, right? So you're going to take your other leg. Now, there is no expectation that they look the same. None whatsoever. This case for me, my knee is much higher on this side. That's okay. Your body looks symmetrical. It's not. It might feel different. So again, you have to find the position that works for you. I am going to recommend that this top foot, whatever it is, you flex your foot. It adds a little active energy. And you're thinking about trying to open that hip. So just opening it as much as you can. Pick the place where your leg feels good. Out straight, bent in, maybe add a little overpressure, but if you do on your thigh, okay? When you find that, I think I can do this, spot. Inhale, lengthen your trunk and your spine. Exhale, first hinge forward at your hips. When you've gotten to that space that's enough for you, roll forward in your trunk, tuck your head down. And again, you'll feel that stretch primarily in the outside of the hip of the leg that's bent. That's exactly where you should feel it. Take a few slow breaths here. Come back to your intention. And your next inhale slowly brings you back up. We're going to uncross that leg, be kind to yourself, and maybe just let those knees fall side to side. One more time. Okay. Last thing we're going to try to do before we finish up our practice is a forward fold. So this is going to be sort of like if you were sitting on the ground and your legs were straight out in front of you. So find a way to sit comfortably on the edge of your seat so your chair isn't moving. Maybe make sure it's on a wall if it has wheels. And I want your legs straight out in front of you with those feet flexed actively back up. So my toes are looking at me right now, okay? Maybe this is enough. Maybe you already feel a stretch in the back side of your legs, and that's perfectly fine. Our goal, though, is to try to add a forward fold into this position. So maybe gently bend your knees at a soft bend there. I want you to put your hands on your hip because I want you to sit up nice and tall. Lengthen, shining a light straight out from the top of you, okay? Your next inhale lengthens your body, fills your body with breath. And on your exhale, hinge forward from your hips. You're going to feel your legs are going to tell you at some point that's enough. Once you get there, then roll your trunk on down. Let your head roll down. Let your arms fall down. Maybe they rest on your legs, on the ground. Maybe they reach your toes. But in a position where you can continue to breathe comfortably. Inhaling and exhaling slowly. Inhaling breath into that back side. Exhaling what no longer serves you. And your next inhale, slowly roll it on up. Let's counterbalance this with a little extension. So you're going to inhale your arms up to the sky. Look at them. As you exhale, bring them down into like a cactus or a goalpost. So you're kind of out to the side. And I'll turn on the side. What I want you to do is slowly bring them behind if you can and slowly tilt yourself up. So we're getting an upper body extension through our spine. So we just flexed our spine forward. Now we're going to do the counterbalance and extend. If looking up does not feel good for you, look down. But you're trying to rotate those shoulders and your upper back open. Your next inhale brings you reaching back up to the sky. Head comes to the center. Exhale, hands come heart center. Good. Few more breaths here. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, hands heart center. 2 more. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, hands heart center. Let's do one more stretch for all of our computer people. So I want you to take your arm and extend it out in front of you with your palm facing down. You're going to take your other hand, grab all your fingers and your thumb, and just what's comfortable for you, bring that back towards you. That's going to extend out and stretch this part of your forearm. So don't forget your little thumb. Again, if this is sending any zinging or tingling into your fingertips, that is not okay. We do not want to feel tingling during any of these poses, okay? When you feel had enough, roll that wrist out a little bit, kind of shake it out a little bit, and then we're going to switch to the other side. So palm up, extend your arm, drop your wrist, take your other hand, grab all your fingers and your thumb, pull back a little bit just so it's comfortable, just so you're feeling a stretch through this part of your forearm. When we spend a lot of time at our desk and on our keyboards, that can get kind of tight. And we're going to counterbalance this stretch by moving our wrists in the opposite direction. So now we're going to put the outsides of our hands together, and we'll just feel kind of a little gentle stretch. I like to kind of roll my hands. So like my thumbs are touching, then my pinkies are touching. Again, just really gentle, but we're doing a counterbalance stretch even for our wrists. Okay. And then we'll shake them out a little bit, get that blood flowing back in there. And guess what? We made it. We did 30 minutes of chair yoga. We didn't think about anything else except linking our body and our mind and our breath. And I hope you feel a little bit more lively and open, and you have a good intention for the rest of your day. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Have a great day. Yeah. Namaste.